Hey guys, PokéDan here. A few weeks ago, I made a video counting down my top 10 favorite Sinnoh Pokemon, and of course some people asked if I would do this with all the regions, so that's what I'll be doing today. So in this video, you guys join me to count down my top 10 favorite Kanto Pokemon. This will be a series on my channel, but for the sake of having some different countdowns uploaded every now and then, I'll be making these top 10 regional Pokemon videos every 2 weeks. And also remember guys, that the Pokemon on this list are here due to my opinion of them, so be sure to let me know in the comments who some of your favorite Kanto Pokemon are, and I'll get back to you when I can. So with all that being said, let's get started. Number 10. Persian. This normal type cat Pokemon is one of my favourite Pokemon owned by an antagonist in the Pokemon anime. Of course, that antagonist being Team Rocket's Giovanni. Although Giovanni and his iconic Persian don't turn up in the Pokemon anime that often, when they do, I really happen to like the characters. But don't get me wrong, I don't just like Persian due to its role in the Pokemon anime, I also like it because of its design too. Persian's design isn't anything too complicated, far from it in fact. This Kanto Pokemon is one of few Pokemon that I actually like because of its basic design. Owning 2 cats myself, understandably I'm quite the cat person, and I guess that's another reason why I like Persian so much. But this Pokemon is just so cool, so I had to put it on this list. Coming in at the number 9 spot in this video is Aerodactyl. Out of all the fossil Pokemon in Gen 1, I personally feel that Aerodactyl is the best. In my opinion, I think it's the best Gen 1 fossil Pokemon because it has the best design out of the 3. But I mean, Kabutops is a close second. Aerodactyl is also a Pokemon that has great stats too. With 130 in speed and 105 in attack, it can certainly give a quick hit, and I love how strong this Pokemon can be. In fact, Aerodactyl was one of the lucky few Pokemon to even gain a Mega Evolution in Gen 6, and that only made this Pokemon stronger. Personally, I can't fault this Pokemon. It's incredible and it's paved the way for some awesome fossil Pokemon to come in the future games. Coming in at the number 8 spot on this list is one of my favourite evolutions. I'm talking about Jolteon. As much as I do like the other 2 Kanto evolutions, Jolteon has always been the one that I've preferred. I've been known to like many electric type Pokemon such as Chinchou and Luxray, and Jolteon is another electric type that I really like too. Admittedly, I've never used Jolteon as much as I should have. I've not used it in any in-game teams or competitive battling teams, but that doesn't matter because nevertheless I still love this electric type. I feel like all the evolutions offer something different apart from their typings. For example, Umbreon looks cool, Vaporeon looks elegant, Espeon looks calm, and I feel that Jolteon looks like a powerful and cool looking Pokemon. And let's face it, they're the best kinds of Pokemon. Coming in at the number 7 spot on this list is one of the most iconic Pokemon out there, Mewtwo. Don't get me wrong, I like Mew as well, but in my opinion, Mewtwo is just way more badass, and I just prefer it overall. Another reason, and the main reason why I like Mewtwo so much, is because of its appearance in the Pokemon movies, specifically the first Pokemon movie. I'm not going to spoil anything about this movie for you guys, because honestly, you should watch it, but I'm just going to say that in this movie, Mewtwo is like the most badass Pokemon there's ever been. Also, the first Pokemon movie, aka Mewtwo Strikes Back, was actually the first ever Pokemon movie I saw. I remember I picked it up on VHS from a school fair when I was a kid for only £1, and I just really enjoyed this movie. Mewtwo is such an iconic Pokemon, and because of its impact on me, it's on this list. Coming in at the number 6 spot on this list is another iconic Kanto Pokemon, it's Ganga. In Gen 1, Ganga and its evolution line were the only ghost type Pokemon, so it's fair to say that that made them unique. But out of the whole evolution line, Gengar's my favourite. This is a Pokemon that I used to use in competitive battling. I say used to use because it no longer has its iconic levitate ability in Sun and Moon, so I just haven't used it as much. Also, speaking of recent events with Gengar, it too gained a Mega Evolution, and in fact it's one of my favourite Mega Pokemon. I remember watching one of my favourite Pokemon anime episodes called Ghoul Days from the Sinnoh series when I was younger, and I remember seeing Gengar and its evolution line in it. They were playing the role of the misunderstood ghost type, and when they looked scared, they were so adorable. Gengar is just an awesome Pokemon, and it's it's one of my favourite Kanto Pokemon too. Coming in at the number 5 spot on this list is Mr. Mime. Now in Kanto, Mr. Mime was actually a plain psychic type, but since then it's gained the fairy type in Pokemon X and Y, a type that I think it really suits. Anyway, the main reason for why I like Mr. Mime is because of the impact it had on me in the Pokemon games. In an earlier playthrough series that was on my YouTube channel, I caught a Mr. Mime and it was an awesome Pokemon, so I really started to like Mr. Mime from that point on. On top of that, Mr. Mime and its pre-evolution Mime Jr. are crazy adorable, even if some people disagree. The only negative thing about Mr. Mime that I can think of is that I never used it sooner, because this Pokemon is pretty underrated and deserves much more love. Coming in at the number 4 spot on this list is Cloyster. Now let me just start off by saying this Pokemon is just incredible in competitive play. And I'm not the only one who knows this too, because pretty much everyone who uses Cloyster uses the same set, and that's also including me too. The way people usually run Cloyster is with the ability Skill Link and Shell Smash, and they give it the attacking moves Rock Blast and Icicle Spear. And from there onwards, Cloyster can be a stupidly broken Pokemon if used right. I would know, because like I said, I use Cloyster, and it's a Pokemon I regularly have on my competitive battling teams. I really like Cloyster because when I use it, it's a Pokemon that I control people with so hard. Cloyster is just an awesome Pokemon, so because of that, it had to have a place on this list. Coming in at the number 3 spot today, we have Nidoking. Just like Cloyster, Nidoking is yet another Pokemon I use quite often to battle with. And that's not the only reason why I like it either. Personally, I really like Nidoking's lovely blue shiny form. I've never hunted for this shiny, as I'm not much of a shiny hunter myself, but I can appreciate some lovely colours when I see them. On top of that, have you guys even seen Nidoking's design? This Pokemon just looks like it could throw a tank a million miles away. It just looks so powerful, and it lives up to its design too. I don't really know why, but I've always preferred Nidoking over Nidoqueen. I mean, Nidoqueen is cool too, but I guess it's just because I've always used the Nidoking and not Nidoqueen. Nevertheless, I love Nidoking so much, and that's why it made it so high up on this list. Okay, so coming in at the number 2 spot on this list, and just missing out on number 1 is Lickit. Now I know that a lot of people dislike this Pokemon due to its design, but not me. I actually think its design is hilarious, and Lickit was known for its tongue way before Miley, so back off. But on a more serious note, I like Lickit mainly because of the use I've had for it in competitive battling. Not a lot of people use this Pokemon in competitive, but in doubles format, it works really well. What I do is I usually send out Lickit with Mega Slowbro, and most of the time people attack the Mega Slowbro because it looks more intimidating and stronger looking, therefore thinking it's a bigger threat. But that's the genius of it. In the first turn, Mega Slowbro uses Trick Room for Lickit to be the fastest Pokemon on the field, and Lickit uses Belly Drum. The reason why it uses regular Belly Drum and not Z Belly Drum is because I make my Lickit more bulky by giving it the Eviolite. And after the Belly Drum Trick Room setup, my Lickit just sweeps with Return. And just in case people start attacking the Lickit, my Mega Slowbro also has Heal Pulse. It's just a great pair that really works well for me. Because of this awesome strategy, I really like Lickit. And coming in at the number 1 spot on this list, and my favourite Kanto Pokemon is none other than my Kanto starter, Blastoise. Like I just said, Blastoise was my starter Pokemon in the Kanto games, well, the Kanto remakes, and when I used this Pokemon, I honestly began to really like it. I mean, I liked Blastoise before I used it, but after experiencing using it on my Pokemon Leaf Green team, I really knew how awesome this Pokemon was. In Pokemon X and Y, like other Kanto Pokemon, Blastoise and the other Kanto starters gained Mega Evolutions, and I got the chance to use Blastoise yet again on one of my in-game teams. I know for a fact before posting this video that a lot of people are going to be wondering why Charizard isn't on this list. I mean, I don't mind Charizard, but I didn't want to put multiple starters on this list, so it was only fair that my actual starter Blastoise made the list. In my opinion, this water starter is one of the best starter Pokemon in the Pokemon franchise, and it's made it to the number 1 spot on this list today. But anyway, that's it for this video, so if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, let me know who some of your favourite Kanto Pokemon are down in the comments. But with all that being said, for now, I've been PokéDan, you've been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time.